Alright, these are the ingredients for a paella, and it's basically Paella Valenciana. And on the cutting block there, you have on your left, you have chicken thighs. I choose chicken thighs because they are the moister one and the tastier one. And then right below that, I have some kielbasa. The real Spaniard use the chorizos, but for me it's a little too dry, so I use the kielbasa. Then going back, you have some scallops. Usually baby scallops will do it. Then you have shrimps, and I put some langostinos there. You can replace the langostinos with pulp or other kind of fish. Then you have the sazon and saffron. Then I have an onion, garlic, tomato, red pepper, baby peas. Then I have a seafood stock, 1 cup of rice. Then you have sea salt, olive oil, and then to enjoy the whole meal you have either a Sauvignon Blanc or a Vaqueras, which is a Sato France, a red wine, or you can use a Côte du Rhône or a good Beaujolais would do it. Okay? So later on we'll do the cooking. Before you start, you take some sea salt and season the whole seafood and the chicken with a little salt, and don't put any pepper because the pepper is right there in the sazon Goya. Okay, so you just salt it, lightly salt it on both sides. Then when your oil is very hot, you take the chicken, skin size, leave the skin on, skin size, put it on your pot with the hot oil and brown the chicken on both sides. But start with the skin side first so it won't stick to the pot. Okay? Cut it off.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, the reason to do that, you sear the chicken on both sides. You see this is the skin side, then you turn it around just to color it lightly. You sear the meat so the juice are not going to get out of the chicken, they're going to stay in the chicken. When it's lightly brown like this on both sides, you take the chicken out and dump all the fat that's in there. Okay? So when the chicken is brown on both sides, you take the chicken thighs out of the pot, put it on the side, and quickly get rid of some. You see the bottom of the pot, all that sugar stuck in the bottom, that's going to make your paella taste very good. So what you do, dump some of the fat and just leave it tiny bit in there. See, just a little bit. Put the pot back on the stove, and then you dump all your diced onion, garlic, and your tomato in the pot. With a wooden spoon, brown it lightly. See, I didn't leave enough fat, so what you do, if you have just a tiny bit of fat left, you just put a little bit in there. That's going to give it a lot of flavor. Look, come on. You see that sugar there? You scratch it. Okay? And you turn the heat down a little bit. Get your rice. Dump your rice. And coat the rice with all that fat. That's going to make the rice not stick together. It's going to have a little oil And don't be afraid to scratch that. Okay, a little bit. Then you take your sazon. I put, for 4 person, I put 1 cup of rice. I put 2 little bags, and then you stir your rice in it. Take it off the fire because you see the bottom is starting to stick. Then you measure 2 cups. For every cup of rice, you put 2 cups of stock. 1 cup, 2 cups. Mix it. Then you cover your pot. And you let it boil, and as soon as it boils, we'll follow through. So when the fish stock and the rice and the onions, garlic and tomato and the sazon start to boil, you let it boil for a couple minutes, and then you put your chicken thighs back in, skin down again, and usually the rice takes about 20 minutes to cook. So the chicken thigh, make sure you put all the juice that was left on the plate in there. Usually the chicken thigh also will take about 20 minutes. So as soon as you put your chicken thighs in, shake it a little bit, and as soon as the chicken pot starts to boil, you cover it up and lower the temperature to barely simmering. So this is a little too much right now. In about a couple of minutes it's going to go down, and you cover it. And you're going to leave it like this for about 15 minutes.
Action.
So after about 20 minutes, you take the lid off, and you see how the pot is going. It's just barely simmering. So what you want to do now, you want to see if the chicken thighs are cooked or almost cooked. So you try to pull it a little bit like that, and you see right there under the bone, the blood seems to have disappeared. So you make sure you pick up another one, and you do the same thing. So you try to break it where the bone is, and look, and you look here, right here. So you see it's barely pink, so you're okay now. So there's still enough stock in the pot, and you can see the skin has stuck out from the meat. So if you don't want the skin at this time, you can peel the skin, put it on the side, I personally like the skin, but some people don't like it. So you take it now, and we're going to leave one with the skin for me. Okay, so at this time, you take your spoon and you check seasoning, and you see how far the rice is cooked. So you take a little bit on the side and you try it. So it's been there for about 20-25 minutes, and that's varied because the chicken thigh, as you can see, are pretty big. See the size. So, but 20 minutes you're safe. So now the rice, it's almost cooked. You taste the seasoning, it's perfect. So now is the time to add a little saffron. The sazon that you bought has saffron already, but it's very, very, very mild. So what I did, I put some pistil of saffron with a little bit of water. so they get soaked in, and you can put that in the pot. So now you have all your seafood. That's not going to take more than about maximum 5 minutes to cook. So you put your scallops, unpeeled shrimp, and I have some langostinos, but whatever other fish you have, the kielbasa or the chorizo, the red pepper, and carefully you put the peas in. And then you gently stir it up here. So you can see now the chicken, kielbasa, the shrimp, the scallop, the fish, and what you do now, you just spray them out a little bit, so they're going to try to keep them under. And the saffron. And if you have enough stock, you should leave it as it is, cover it, and let it sit there for about 5 minutes. And then in 5 minutes we're going to check them out and see if there's enough stock in there. So after about 10 minutes, you lift the lid and you look at your paella. Right now you can see there's still some juice left in there, so it's not going to be very dry, it's going to be perfect. So you look at your scallops, the scallops are white, they are cooked. Then you try to find the shrimp in there, because the shrimp are going to be, you see, you pull the shrimp, and the shrimp is beautiful and pink in the shell. So right now your paella, it's ready. The red pepper are still beautiful red, the peas are nice and green, it's beautiful. So what you do now, you cover it back, turn the heat off, and you're going to let it sit like that for about 10 minutes. So all the juice are going to soak in the meat, the seafood, and then you should be ready to enjoy one.
Action.
Okay, so the paella has been sitting there for about 10 minutes. Turn the heat off. And now you can see that you got a beautiful paella. It's not too dry. You still got some juice in. The shrimps are cooked, not overcooked. So what you're going to do, you're going to start picking, like, for each person, a couple of shrimp, chicken thigh, a couple of pieces of kielbasa, a couple of pieces of the scallops, and then I'm going to put the rice, the peas, and a few red pepper. Or you can simply put that in the middle of the table and let all the guests help themselves. And then with that, you're going to drink either a glass of your favorite red wine, but make sure you take a dry red wine, and at the same time a dry red white wine. The dish has too much flavor, so if you put a rich Chardonnay or a rich Cabernet Sauvignon, the wine is going to ruin the food. Okay? So, bon appétit, buen apetito, enjoy. Y como estamos comiendo una comida española, buen provecho.